Hi everyone, welcome to the second video introducing how to do the presentation or the styling of your web page. So go to the folder where you've downloaded the activity files and open, so here's mine, and I want you to open topic 3. This is the one where we actually have a page full of that's been structured using HTML. So for example, there's a title there in the head. Then there's a heading 1 at the top of the body. There's also an image, that's a little logo image. By the way, if you want to look at the images, you can go File and Open, and you just press the image and brackets will actually display the image, so you can actually see the size of that image. I might come back to that at some point. So just click back on topic 3. And I think you can maybe hover as well. Anyway, I'll keep going. So let's introduce the basic concept of a style. So let me open up Word just to show Word, because it's useful just to compare. You've actually used styles before. There's actually nothing really new here. Hello world. So using Word, you select some text and you go up to the main bar here and you can change the size. So that's called font size, and you can change the font. So if I change, doesn't really matter what I change it to. I'm actually going to use Arial. So there's Arial there, and you should also be able to change the font color. So there's a font color up here. So essentially what we're doing in HTML is what you do in Word, just using the buttons up here on the toolbar, where you can do things like underline, you can do italics, bold. So they're all stylings. You can do them in HTML. So let's go back to HTML. How do we do that in HTML? Okay, a little bit more, not very complex, but a little bit more. You need to type the word style. Put the style tag, and brackets will create a closing one automatically. Now this must be in the head tag, so I'll click there on the head. It's a big error to put it outside the head tag. Styles must be defined either in the head tag or an external file, which we call style sheet, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute, because that's the preferred way. That's how we really want to do it. But initially, let's do some simple styles. So if you type, what you need to do, you have to tell the web browser what element you want to apply the style to. So let's say I have a heading. I want to change the font style for the text in the body section. So you type the body for that tag, and then in here you need 2 curly brackets. Again, brackets will put it in automatically, and then you type font size. Let's really go let's go crazy. On our real web page you won't use a font size of 30, but I'll just save that. Now let's go to our web browser and have a look what happens to my web page. All the font through the page has become huge, 30 pixels. What is pixels? Well, don't worry too much about what it is. Pixels, px. It's important to put the number followed by px. No spaces there, please. If you put a space in between, you'll get an error. So don't worry too much about the units. Just keep in mind px is short for picture elements. If you look at this image here, this is actually 155 times 56 pixels. So as you go from that top corner, essentially you've got 155 picture elements. You can kind of see the little square there. I wonder if I can zoom in, if there's an option. I don't think there is. But actually view. Zoom in. No zoom in feature. So it's 156 across, and it's 56 down. So when we said 30 would be about it's hard to show there, about that distance. So each letter has essentially got a height of 30 pixels. Anyway, let's not get too bogged down with that. Okay, let's try one more. If you put font family, that's what I want to use, font family, that allows you to change the actual font. So I want to put the word Arial. Now just be aware, at the end of each line here, up here, the format, so you give the property, a colon, that's what that's called, the 2 dots. You write then the value for the property, and you'll learn more about what properties you have and what possible values you can have. And each line here, or each property, must be followed by a semicolon. Okay, let's have a look now at our web page, and we've now changed font. Actually, we haven't. I need to save. Right, I'll save. Now have a look. That just changed. I've got the original page here somewhere. That's the original page. So have a comparison, see the difference. So my styling here, automatically I've made the font larger, and I've changed the font family to Arial, and you see the difference. And let's keep going. I'll do one more. Go back to brackets. If I change the color property, remember American spelling, so C-O-L-O-R, and I'm going to go dark green. There's predefined colors. You'll see I think there's about 140 predefined colors. They've all got different sort of names. So if I type dark green, and you'll notice brackets will actually bring up what colors start with that letter. So there's a dark blue. I'm going to use dark green. And again, make sure you save. Now we go to our web page, bring it back up, and you'll see now all the text in my web page has become dark green. Okay. So that introduced the idea of styling. Now I'll just introduce, so this body here, that's applied to everything in the body. So every tag in the body will get those settings, the font size, the font family, and the color. Let's say you want to apply only something to paragraph, the text inside paragraphs. So now we can override, at the moment, the color in the paragraph text. There you can see a paragraph, it's all green. We can actually change that. So if I type color again, and this time I go aqua, notice the difference. Again, save that. So these styles, and I go, I don't have to do live preview. Now notice here, so all the titles are still green. The hyperlinks at the moment still maintaining the blue color for their color. But all the other text, all the headings, the H1, H2 and so forth, have taken on green. This was an ordered list, so it's not a paragraph, so it's still green. And then we've got another heading, why do people get addicted? And then following that, I've actually used a paragraph tag. And you can see that's all aqua. So that's overridden the previous style. And that's why we call it cascading. The body has the color dark green, but then the paragraph is actually embedded within the body, or nested within the body tag, and we've explicitly set a color then for the paragraphs. So it will override the setting from the higher or the outer element or outer tag, which in this case is body, and change it from dark green to aqua. So that's the idea of cascading, I think, sort of as it moves down from the higher tag to the lower tag. As it gets closer to that lower tag, it applies any settings that are set at that level. They take precedence over any settings that were higher, set higher in the page. Kind of like a waterfall, I guess, water over a waterfall as it cascades down. Okay, you try that and see if you get it to work, and then when we come back we're going to look at how to put these styles in a separate file.